All right, let's go ahead and call our meeting to order. Mr. Swain, will you lead us in prayer?
Our Father in heaven, we ask you tonight, Father, to be in our meeting. Father, to guide us, that we do your will and the best for the benefit of the city. Father, we just ask you to keep your hand upon this meeting and again, guide us and take care of the business that needs to be taken care of. We ask God to use everything. Amen.
All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Like usual, we have your minutes from November 5th in your packet. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any changes, corrections need to be made? Seeing not any, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passed. We'll move over into committee reports. And we'll start with School Street side.
All right, as of tomorrow, we'll have every gravel road in Kennett paved. I've been, we've had, funny thing is, we have a little resistance every once in a while, and I don't understand that at all.
Working with the public.
Huh?
Dealing with the public, yes.
That's right. So, it's going well. We're real pleased with how Gerald and the crew have been doing with all that stuff. But that will be done, and we'll go on to the next project, which if we can or can't, whatever we do. All right, and that's really, well, Gerald has a suggestion. You want to bring that up?
Well, we seem to have a lot of people coming and going. So I thought maybe if they don't pay their 6-month probationary period, their $60 physical, we come out of their last check instead of the city paying for it, since maybe I'm not as lovable as I think I am, and they just run out, so I don't know.
We just got a bill for one and got over quick.
And, well, I got another one next month, because I just hired a guy. And I had 3, and I got one guy still there, hopefully he'll stay a while.
We need to tell them on the front end before they take the physical cuts. And the only other thing you need to look at is if you take the $60 out of the last check, would that make them fall below minimum wage, or especially minimum wage, federal minimum wage? It probably won't. But
1625. Federal minimum wage, not state?
federal minimum wage,
That's what I said.
7.25.
Yeah.
I don't know, you want to take it a couple of days, it might probably get under.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that it doesn't throw them under federal minimum wage, and we gotta let them know on the front end that we're going to deduct that if they don't stay.
You want to take that in a motion?
Yeah. So I make a motion that we look towards deducting the cost of the physical exam that enables people to work, not taken out of the last paycheck if people quit prior to 6 months.
Mayor, before we second on that, is that just for the street department, or is that for all departments that have physicals?
We pay for, the city pays for PD physicals.
What?
For new hires.
We pay for all of it.
Yeah, they pay for that.
That's just why we're asking for this, is we're paying for them, and they're staying around for a week and they're quit.
Oh, okay.
And it's just money thrown away to me if they don't stay. Make them pay for it.
I don't see anything wrong with
Their
that
money
across the
away.
board.
I don't either.
Would you like to
I
add that
think
to your
it's a good
motion?
Yeah, I just go across
I-
for 6 months.
By leaving it the way it is, it does include everyone,
Okay.
so.
All right, so do we have a second for that? You got a second? Discussion?
Do they sign an employment agreement of any sort that this would be included in? Is there anything they sign, just so we have a written record?
We should do that. We should, I mean, just for the, if nothing else, just for the cost of the physical.
We can
That-
start that.
Yeah, we can just, want it to be a simple sentence.
I mean, if they get something that says, here's your, you've been hired as of this date, here's your rate of pay, and, you know, the physical, those very simple terms.
Any kind of PPE, just,
Yeah, because 3 months later, people don't remember what they were told. We're selective sometimes in our memories.
Memory that long, 3 months? Stretching it for me.
Thank you.
any other questions? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Anything else on your hit list?
No, you don't look at anything for me.
No, sir.
I'll talk to you afterwards about, we need to check in a couple of things, that driveway that you and I have talked about. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Carter.
Maybe it's not necessary, but is that motion for 6 months, or is that gonna be for their length of their probationary period? Because at times it could be extended.
6 months is what the motion was.
Yeah, 6 months.
Okay, I mean, but I mean, I was just gonna say, I didn't want to be clear on that, too.
6 months of the hire date.
Well, I mean, I understand his point, that sometimes they aren't, you won't get rid of them, but you'll extend it a little bit longer, so you might say the probationary period. Normally 6 months, but
That's not what the motion was, though. If you want to change it, we need to change it.
I think 6 months is, personally, I'm sorry to interrupt, I think 6 months is fair. Going beyond that, I mean, I think it's asking a lot afterwards.
6 months, because that's when they'll get a bump in pay if they stay and do good and all that, and that's why we said 6 months.
Good round number.
Easy to
It's a
remember.
good question.
That's fine, I just, after the motion and vote, that happened to remind me that sometimes those are extended, so I just want to be sure. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good question. All right, so streets, good, police?
I happen to have a couple of things.
All right.
One, I'll start out with a good note. Chief Wilson has been working on trying to get a grant for some time to replace the body cams. And he has received a grant for $13,002 for the body cams. And so, good job on that.
2 cents worth of.
That keeps us from having to pay those. So appreciate you getting that grant for us. Another one is we have a discrepancy over the SRT overtime money. And I thought I was pretty clear when I explained this the last time. But the SRT grant, our SRT money that we have, that is, we don't pay the SRT team members overtime out of that whenever they're training monthly. But in the event that they get called out, they will get paid overtime money out of that. And also, if we send them for training, if there's overtime involved, that comes out of the SRT money. So,
I
I
guess
thought,
maybe for specialized training,
Yeah.
not just the monthly, but the specialized training class.
and I thought we were pretty clear last time, but we sent an officer, and he has some overtime, and he's not been paid, so, I'd like to get that cleared up. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer those. And I know the finance committee is probably gonna be the one with any question on it, but, what do you need to know? You look like you got a question.
I'm sorry if I look like I have a question, I'm just interested.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm
But
sorry.
Mr. Peltz, the thing I'm sorry, if we do have, we just need to make sure we've got it in our policy or whatever the payroll department has, just
Gotta
that
be
it's
in the minutes.
documented.
That'll be in the minutes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we need to amend the minutes, we need to amend them, whatever they say.
Yeah, so, and that's, so they didn't find it in the minutes. That's the reason I'm bringing it up, so we can get that clarified. So next time this happens, we won't have to go through this again.
I heard you, and I'm not disputing it, but would you all put it in writing? So we can be sure and get it right in the minutes?
Sure.
I mean, I'm not voting against it or saying no, but put it in writing and let's vote on it next time. Is that fair?
Well, no, it's not. And the
Okay.
reason why, because I have an officer in limbo already on overtime money that should be paid. Now, so I can be happy to get that, if you wanna write it out now and read it back so that we'll know what it's gonna be. But overtime money will be paid if SRT is called out or if they are in specialized training. That's the only time that money comes out of the SRT budget.
And Chief Wilson will designate that on their, it will be
Yeah.
designated
We'll
on
do
their
a separate
time
time
card.
sheet that'll have,
Yes,
instead of where it says
so
police,
that-
they'll have SRT on it, so they'll know from the payroll department that that money
And
comes out.
and
of
it'll be
SRT.
easy to track because they're putting it on the delivery time card. Yeah, is that,
You're making that in a motion, and that you're making that in a motion with retroactive. Is that correct?
well,
Yes.
I guess I need to, but actually, I already explained this once, it just didn't get conveyed that way, so, if that's what you need, I'd be glad to do that, yeah.
A motion would be lovely.
Mr.
My motion,
Anybody has a-
I make that in the
better
motion.
make it a new
I will
motion?
second.
That's legal terms, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely, is that the one?
Yeah.
It's retroactive to
Yes,
last month?
yes.
The previous motion.
I have no clue what the motion is, but I'm gonna go with your motion.
Mayor, please repeat it.
Yes,
Bill seconded.
Yeah,
there's a second. So, motion on the floor. Do we have any questions for the motion?
Any more questions?
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right,
Last thing.
okay,
Hang on,
okay.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, my head's spinning on this one, that last one.
Do not be stealing my thunder. We talked about underage drivers on our last council meeting, and they're continuing out there, and Assistant Chief put out something on our Facebook stating that. And so I'm pleading to the owners and the parents of these children not to let you be driving on the city streets, you know, that we're afraid somebody get injured, killed, and that's gonna be horrible. So, if they get caught, the juvenile officer is gonna be involved in it. So we need to keep these underage drivers off the city streets. So,
If they get caught, the parents ought to be responsible for it.
Parents should be given tickets.
yeah, So-
We discussed that.
and we're beefing up the patrols. The chief has talked with the officers, are gonna beef up the patrols. So they're gonna be looking. Somebody's gonna get caught and they're gonna be unhappy.
Everything that I've heard from the community is good.
Yeah.
That, you know, they're tired of having, seeing 9-year-olds
Right.
coming at them. And, when I spoke to the Cub Scouts last night, I warned them right there,
I
so.
understand. So, there
And
again,
and I'd like to add that if they're 15 and above, we can give them tickets for municipal court for traffic offenses, like
Good.
unlicensed driving or driving without a license. So if the driver's 15 and not licensed, we can give the driver a ticket, and we can give the parents a ticket for allowing an unauthorized driver or an unlicensed driver to drive. If they're under 15, actually, you know, if they're under 18, we can give them a ticket, or we can get the juvenile office involved. Under 15, we get the juvenile office involved. But I would think if we're calling the juvenile office too many times, they're going to start cracking down.
right. So, I have been forewarned twice.
Mhm.
Really?
And the vehicle won't leave, once they're pulled over, the vehicle does not go back
Yes.
without parent or,
The licensed driver has to go pick up that vehicle
Yes. Yeah.
with insurance.
And Mr. Peltz, does that include all these vehicles also, they're gonna be cracking down on making sure they're licensed and inspect, whatever, insured or whatever, that's a part of it too, when they're
You know,
stopped and checked?
if they, unless they,
I'm talking about the vehicle being licensed.
right,
Yeah.
if they've got all the stuff on them they're supposed to have, unless they break a law or run a stoplight speed or something like that, they have no reason to stop them. But yes, that is correct.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, if it keeps going, the next step's gonna be, you all are probably gonna say, let's,
Yeah.
no, totally, and that's gonna ruin it for everybody.
We will stop it totally.
Is, then it stop with the kids, or it's gonna stop the whole thing? Before
I'm
we
not
have a
against
kid
that.
killed.
I'm not against that one bit.
And is there another way to communicate this? I mean, I know it's on Facebook. I don't know if we have, if these vehicles are licensed, we can send letters to the owners to let them know, or,
That'd be hard to do because we don't know who the owners are.
okay,
But
Okay.
it was in the paper, and I know that because I got lots of comments on it. So,
Well, they should know it anyway without.
A few tickets, they'll get to.
It'll
Word
get
will
around
spread.
quickly.
If the, I know, bigger one, is a go-kart, can he even
No.
It's not.
No.
Can I add something?
check
Each year
college
when the people get
go-karts?
their sticker for their vehicle, they get, a copy of the ordinance. Even if they got one last year, they'll get it again, so.
So they're well aware of what they have to have. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right, sir. Animal control.
And so, as you can see, Tina's not here, her grandson had an event at school. They held a fundraiser at South School Elementary. The school raised $400. Then the Pet Pictures fundraiser at the fair, they raised $2,600. The money was raised for veterinary fees and supplies needed. I didn't talk to Tina about this, but I think it's kind of important as we're getting close to Christmas. If you're gonna buy a dog, cat, whatever, make sure you're able to take care of it. You have a place for it to stay. It does not need to be in the weather without a house. Needs to be fenced or kept in the house. And if you abandon the pet, and they find out that you abandoned it, you will get a citation. And that's all we have.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Good.
Fire. Nice.
My community doesn't have anything. Just a couple things real quick. Whoever's involved in Just a Small Town Christmas, I just want to publicly say the square looks awesome. It looks really, really nice.
Now, am I mistaken, is it the first time we put the lights on top of the building in a while?
They look awesome. They look awesome.
Looks really nice. Whoever had a hand in that, looks good. I would ask for the, you guys to remember Tyler Roberts, Assistant Chief Roberts. He'll be having back surgery tomorrow and will be out for around a month. So if y'all could just remember him in your thoughts and prayers, that would be greatly appreciated. And I apologize, good evening, Mayor and City Council. I'd like to just take a moment to remind everybody about the upcoming rental inspection program that's set to begin January 2025. This new initiative applies to new rental agreements starting in January and aims to ensure housing quality and safety for our community. As of now, we're still accepting pre-business license paperwork to help ensure streamline of transition. Overview of the process is new renters beginning January 25 will need to complete an application for inspection, which must be signed by their landlord. A $50 inspection fee will apply to these properties. If the residence does not pass the initial inspection, the property owner will be notified and given time to address the issue before scheduling a reinspection at no additional cost. If the property fails a second time, the owner will then be required to pay a $50 fee for further inspections. This program is specifically for new tenants starting January 2025. Current tenants who are not moving will not need to be inspected at this time. Instead, their properties will be inspected on a rolling basis within a 2-year term. Again, we appreciate the cooperation of the citizens of Kennett as we implement this program to maintain a safe and habitable rental housing in Kennett. Just wanted to bring that. We're rolling toward January as hard as we can. I don't know where this year went, but we need to get that reminder out there. So if the media can share that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Y'all have anything?
Sir, any questions? Thank you.
I got something, I know y'all put a thing out about the basketball goals in the streets and stuff, and I guess you got a fire engine, one of the engines.
Yeah,
got
so,
moved.
yeah, sorry about that, and I should have told you guys. So, last week in the early morning hours, we received a medical call, and upon going to that medical call, one of our fire apparatus hit a basketball goal that was sitting in the street that, it didn't knock the windshield out, but it damaged it beyond repair. The bill's upward of $4,000. You know, it's really not my place to tell this, really Chief Wilson's, but it is a city ordinance that you cannot have those in the roadway. And there's various reasons for that, especially if you've got a car parked right there, and then you've got a basketball goal and another basketball on the other side. If somebody was coming down the street, you're definitely going to hit it. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, nobody's expecting one of them things protruding out the street, and you can't see them anyway. So, yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up. Thankfully, no one was hurt during that. I imagine they had to probably go home and clean up afterwards, but thankfully the engine itself was not damaged other than the glass, and everybody was okay.
And, you know, I seen that on Facebook or whatever y'all put on there, and then Sunday going to church, there's one right in the middle of the road, not on the edge of the road, right in the middle of the road.
And they're all over town.
On Storm Street.
I've never really noticed it as much. I guess you just get complacent seeing those things all the time. But after that's happened, I've noticed them everywhere.
But I've seen that.
Not necessarily right in the middle of the road.
Get by, actually. They was just drug it out in the street.
Anything else?
Chief,
Yes, sir.
have we had very many landlords register their property?
Yeah, I've got that in my,
Well, just roughly.
yeah, I don't know, off the top of my head, but there's 544 properties that's registered so far.
Any other questions? All right, Lance.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, finance?
No report.
Okay. I think that includes all the committees.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have to try to borrow money for the cameras or?
No,
Okay.
no, right now, the grant is for $13,000.
I know, right, Kenny was saying it's gonna be a while before we got the money. I don't know if we need.
Well, I think, I gotta attend a compliance workshop Thursday.
Okay.
What they've done in the past is we had to pay for them up front,
Yeah.
and then they turn around and help reimburse the city, and I guess I'll approach you guys about
Yeah, that's
that
what I decided.
when I find out for sure. That's how they're gonna do it this time.
We haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move into unfinished business. Stop sign ordinance.
We'll have that.
Okay. In your pile of papers, there's a letter asking for, the airport board has asked for Don Collins to sit on their board.
I'll make a motion to do that.
A motion?
I second.
We have a second, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Also, on the subject of boards, if anyone in public or council, a meeting sets 5 positions on the Board of Adjustments. So if we get some names for that, I'd be more than happy to reach out to the individuals. But they meet on a random basis, as needed basis, so it's not like the steady obligation of time. But they're 5-year appointments. So it's only 5.
And what does that board do?
Variance board, basically.
Okay, okay,
Uh,
zoning variances. Okay, got it, thank you.
Is that what I mean?
Yes, that's basic, that's their primary function. There are other instances where if there's an appeal, the Board of Adjustment is the appellate board, but that's very limited.
So anybody got any names, feel free to text me or something, just let me know. Be more than happy to reach out to them. Okay. Looks like that's all the unfinished business.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir?
I'd like to bring up again refitting the windows at the museum.
Yes, sir.
We did that a long time ago, but apparently we actually rejected all the bids. We need to go back, get council approval to rebid those again.
That for a motion?
I'll make that, yes, I'll make a motion to do that, if necessary.
Motion second. Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We'll do that. New business. Item A, discuss abatement of lien. I've been asked to give that a 2-week wait, so we'll revisit that subject on December 3rd meeting. Item B is approve the audit from the fiscal year 23. You all received copies of that, I believe, email?
Email, yes, because what I gave you at the last council meeting were all the journal entries that we needed to use to close out the year. So you got the other one by email.
We have a motion to approve the audit.
Motion.
Motion, we have a second. Discussion and questions. Anybody have any questions regarding? Okay, all in favor of approving the audit, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We've been offered a lot on Winford and Starnes. Just to turn it over to the city. It's all, that was in your packet also. At no cost to the city, just taking off the owner's hands.
Motion to accept it.
We have a motion to accept it. We have a second. Discussion or questions?
Ask Mr. Bryan if he's got any comments.
Huh?
The property's not been cared for at all for the last 2 years, so it'd be good if we could do something with it to use it.
It's a large lot.
I was gonna say, it looks like it's large and it's surrounded by other lots that are vacant too, right? Without any property on them, mostly?
East of it, yes.
I think I mowed it for 2 years, and then one day a guy told me, he said, "You ain't supposed to be mowing that." He said, "I'm getting paid to mow it." I said, "Well, good, you need to keep it mowed."
Thanks, Bob.
So I quit mowing it, and I think you gotta get it mowed this year, didn't you?
Yeah, Gerald took care of it about a month ago or so.
Well, right now, we would have no cost in it. It's a 116 foot by 121 foot lot. I feel like we can probably move it pretty quick back to the private hands.
Well, that was gonna be my question about precedent setting. If other people decide they just wanna turn over, because it looks like the taxes are current, even though they're due. And so if other people decide they just wanna give us the property, are we just gonna,
We have a history of doing that.
we do? Okay.
Yes, we've done that numerous times in the past.
The key is to get it turned right back in private hands.
Right, because we
We
don't
don't
wanna
wanna
be
be
mowing all these.
Exactly,
We
exactly.
don't want to have
But
environmental.
as far as setting the precedent, we're not bound to do it in the future, just
Okay.
because we did it now. We
Case
take
by
every,
case.
every one of them's gonna be on a case-by-case basis.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor of the motion to accept the lot, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We also have SREs that were given last meeting for the month of October. We need to get a motion to approve those. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion. We have a second. Questions on the SREs? Revenue and expenses. All in favor of approval, as written, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. All right. Do we have any public comments? Big crowd tonight.
I do. The scouts will be picking up their canned goods on Saturday, so everybody remember that, try to set out their canned goods. Sacks should be on your doors.
All right. That's good. A couple of bits of information. Our last meeting of the year will be December 3rd. A heads up on that. Also, I've been notified the Indian Park Lighting Grant. They're requesting bids for that project. I believe they're due on the 16th of December. So that's moving right along.
Good.
Anybody else have anything before we adjourn? We'll need a vote to adjourn this meeting and go into closed session.
Mayor,
I was just gonna say that marijuana tax, as far as, there, once comes and checked into that, and that the dispensaries in Duncan County do not have to remit those proceeds until December 2nd. So hopefully by the end of December, first part of January, we will know what, maybe start seeing some revenue from that.
All right. Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn and go into closed session?
Motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. A roll call vote.
Aye.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
yes.
All right, we'll take a 5-minute break and then we'll reconvene. Thank you all. Lance, you're staying around for the parcel bid?